Hello everyone, I'm Denise Love, and here's a little preview of today's project. So let's get started. Alright, I'm in the mood to paint a little bigger set of 4. So I'm using a really big piece of Stonehenge aqua cold press watercolor paper, 140 pound, 100% cotton, and this is 12 inch by 16 inch. So it is a rather large piece of paper, and so I have just cut that into quarters with some painter's tape, and I have decided that the crazier the color palette on some of these things that we've been doing like this, the more I like the piece of art. And so I was looking for that last project and pulling out a color palette, and I came across this card, and I'm like, oh yeah, let's pull that one out. I'm totally inspired by these crazy colors. This is why I like pulling out color palettes so much, because I might have put orange and blue together, but I wouldn't have fleshed it out with several other colors to make it a more complex color combination. You know, a lot of times you pull colors, you're like, let's do complementary, and you pick 2 colors across each other from the color wheel, and then you don't dive deeper into making that a more complicated, complex, interesting color palette. And these have just gotten me past that. I get so excited to be like, oh, what colors do I want to paint with today? It stops that barrier that I have had personally just from even getting started sometimes. So this is from 342 from Color Cube 2. By Sarah Renee Clark. So I've got links to those below the video for you. So this was my inspiration. So I am going to start with the Kuretake watercolors, and 4 of these colors came out of the Art Nouveau set. 1 color came out of the 48 piece set because I liked the orange that matched. So I have pulled out 15 Pale Aqua, 602 Cobalt Turquoise Light, 502 Billiard Green, 33 Cadmium Orange, and 501 Pea Green. So that's going to be kind of my base coat. And then I do feel like I'm going to use some stencils, and I've pulled out some colors that I thought, oh yeah, that's right on. So I've got these furniture fusion paints, these little sample pots, and this is Seaside. Looks just like that color there. I don't know if I'm going to use it. I just pulled stuff out. I've got So Flat in the cadmium orange. I've got So Flat in the cobalt teal. I've got Liquitex Basics acrylic in the light olive green. So you can see, and then I've pulled out some Mungyo oil pastels that we'll be maybe using some of those. So you can see how truly mixed media I have become. I just get braver and braver, you know, the more years I do art and stuff, and the older I get, I'm just like, just jump right in, be brave. And so we're gonna be brave. So this paper was bigger than my artist board that I had over here. I should have just grabbed the big artist board, but I just taped it to the table. So I thought we would just get started putting some color down. And after I put these down, I thought in my mind, I might have rather worked on them tall instead of wide, but you know what? I never work wide in sets like this. So let's, again, hop outside our comfort zone and do something that we don't normally do, and work in an orientation that maybe we don't normally work in, and see like what can we get. And so I'm just starting with the first color. Start with the colors that you like the most, and then work in the colors that you're like, or the colors that you really love but you want to be an accent. You know, work that accent in when it's appropriate, but you don't have to like throw down the least favorite color in the biggest quantity. You could save it for last if you needed to. And I'm kind of saving the orange and the green for later is kind of what I'm doing here. I've got some water dripping down, which I don't need clear water down there. Let's just hop that off of there. Get stuck in your paintbrush part here, and then water drips down. So just laying down the first, kind of intuitively painting. I'm not going in any particular way, but I do tend to start with the edges and work my way in. That's kind of typical for how I start pieces like this, and you can do that too, or you can be like, oh no, I like to start wherever on the side, or just kind of playing to get color kind of blocked on here. And I may not have those completely stuck down with that tape, but that's okay. Ooh, I like the way that one laid down. See, I feel better working tall. That's okay. All right, let's see, what is this color before we really get it on here too much. And sometimes too, I like to roll my brush. I don't have to do everything with a brush like it's a pencil, like I know some techniques kind of teach you. I like to roll the brush around on that paper and let it give me some texture and movement and some things that you're not going to get if you're holding that paintbrush real tight and up like a pencil. All right, so let's save the orange for last. I don't know. Oh, look at this color on here. Ooh. Okay, so I totally got excited with the yummy, pretty kind of greenish color here. You see how rolling it, we just kind of get a different feel to the way the paint hits that paper too. I kind of like that. And you can leave white areas too if you have to. If there's some white that stays, don't feel like you have to immediately get rid of that. It might be part of the piece and you might love it. All right. All right, now I'm kind of a little bit afraid of the orange. You know, we could save the orange for a top layer. Don't have to put it down on the paper, but you know what? Let's just, oh, see, now I'm glad I didn't leave it off. All right, don't be afraid of the orange. Look at that. See, we can just kind of dip it in. It can be like just that pop of color. It doesn't have to be everything that color. And I like orange, so I'm not afraid of orange, but I was kind of thinking, do I want that in this composition? You know, maybe, maybe not. But I'm kind of feeling it. This one, I think this one might be my favorite, but we'll find out when we peel the tape later, huh? This one I've kind of overdone. That's why I paint more than one at a time, especially when you're playing, because you're always going to have one that you're like, whoa, way too much. And then you're always going to have one that you're like, whoa, that's my favorite. All right, I'm loving that. Feeling good here. I feel like I left a gigantic white space in this one. Let's just come back with some blue. And then we're going to have to let these dry. And you could, you know, we could come back with that corrugated cardboard piece, which we used in a project just a bit ago. And it might, you know, introduce another color if it's wet enough, because this one's got pink on it. We could maybe introduce some odd color in there just by letting that soak up the color and having that color on it. But I thought it might be interesting. Let's just cut this one up into a third. Might be interesting to see what we get. You could do like a different one on each of these. You could do one with, ooh, this is a perfect size right here. We could do one with bubble wrap. You could do one with saran wrap. You could do some crunched up papers, all kinds of stuff you could do. I need to put some saran wrap here in my office. I never think about it because it's in the kitchen and I'm creating, and then I don't want to stop and go get it. So I need to let these dry, and then we'll put some stuff on top of it. So I'll be back. All right, I decided I might want to move this around. Maybe not, but I wanted to move it out of my way. So I did pull it off of the table and tape it to a board. And then I pulled this up just now. I think it's mostly dry. And look how cool the ones that we did the corrugated cardboard on are completely different than the ones that we didn't. And I do see that some of the cardboard lines I need to just dry real quick. And I'd gotten away from using my cardboard pieces for a while. I think I just forgot they were there. Everybody needs this corrugated cardboard stuff. That's amazing. Like, that's like my new favorite texture, and you might see that in the next 15 videos. Okay, so I've got some Yummy stencils here because I want to use them. This is a set I got off Amazon, and this is the damask set, so I'll link those below. But it has, I've been really obsessed with this damask stencil, and it came out of this set that I kind of like. Some of this, I like this pattern right here, which looks very retro, like those, that bricks that kind of made patio walls and stuff. It really reminds me with these colors, that kind of retro feel. Then I was kind of thinking that we could retro feel it and damask it a little bit with some different colors. And so I like this little set because it had a whole bunch of different options, because this was really pretty too, but it's not quite the feeling that I'm feeling here. So I'm going to set these to the side. I do really like this, and I'm almost thinking, what color do we want to do? Do we want to do every one in a different thing? I'm kind of, I like to do that a lot, because then you kind of know what's your favorite. Then it's kind of like, vote on your favorite. That's some of the best videos that I've done, is where I've been like, which one do you like? Vote on your favorite. And then I get all these votes in the comments, and it's amazing how many different things that we like the vote is almost fairly even with what people love, and I just think that's the coolest thing. All right, I'm gonna put a tiny bit of this paint out. I like this fusion paint. It's furniture paint, but it doesn't bother me a bit to use it in my art. Holds up on furniture, it'll hold up on my art, and it's flat, and it's just real opaque, and I love that. And so I'm kind of feeling blue and green for the fencing here. What do you think? And then, I don't know if you saw my fun little vessel that I had my sponge pieces in, but it's a little antique bowl thing that came from the antique store, and I'm like, huh, perfect. Okay, let's try the green. Let's just start over here. And I've got a little bit of green here on my sponge. It's my artist sponge. It's what I like to use. You can do your favorite stencil patterns in the way that you like it. Everybody's got their own favorite way to do stuff. Oh, let's reveal it. Look at that pattern. Oh my gosh. Yes. Yes, I like this pattern a lot. Totally changed that whole piece up. All right, shoot. Now I'm feeling like green over here, but you know what? Let's do the blue. I'm just gonna mix them. Don't even care. Let's see what the blue looks like, and then we can see which ones because I'm gonna say these two right now are my favorite, but I don't know. Once I get these stencils on here, look at that. That's not actually a blue. It kind of looks gray once you get it on here. Oh yeah, look at that. Okay. Don't move, stencil, don't move. Looks more like a gray on there, and now that I've done that, the green is my favorite one. So, all right, I'm feeling it. All right, let's go on this one first. Be brave. I'm gonna get like the whole little merchandise line created for myself with little Be Brave, little shirts I can wear when I'm making art. Remind myself. Be brave. Oh, now that's pretty. This actually has kind of the blue and the green mixed. Look what that did. Oh, look what that did. Loving it. Okay, so I kind of want this to be, oh yeah. Oh my gosh. This could turn into my new favorite stencil. You might see this one in the next 15 videos. I do get like on a little repetitive streak, and then I stopped making video. Oh, look how pretty that is. Yes, that is so pretty. Now, I almost don't want to do, well, I'm kind of feeling damask in the orange. How about damask in the orange? But I want it to be kind of light. We're gonna have to get this real thin. That's a wet one. Got to be dry sponge. All right, let's do it on this one. Let's do it on, yeah, let's do it on this one. I'll try to do a light touch here. Oh yeah, see, that's very interesting. Different, it's different. I don't know if I love it. Do I love it? Do you love it? Are we feeling that one? I don't know if we're feeling that one. Let's throw these sponges in the water so that they don't dry out. I just rinse those out when I'm done making art for the day. Okay, I'm kind of thinking, what am I thinking? So don't be afraid to pull in any other colors too. Maybe we want the damask in this blue. Put a tiny bit of that blue out. Let's just try it, and then we can decide, did we like it any better? It's a wet sponge or the dry sponge? All right, let's see. Because I'm trying to stay within my color palette, but at the same time, don't be afraid to veer off your color palette if it's just not working. This one's kind of working though. I'm not saying it's not working. I'm just giving you some ideas. A little pep talk there. Okay, so that's kind of interesting. Okay, I do like that little tone on tone there. So maybe I do like the blue. And we could just kind of fit that in a little bit. Oh yeah, yeah. Okay, now I'm filling that with the green. All right, feeling better about it. See, if you do 4 at a time, you have enough pieces to play. I like that a lot. Now I'm feeling like this is beautiful, decorative, high-end wallpaper. Which speaks to my home decor heart. Let's see. Look how pretty that one is. See, we worked our way up to the prettiest one. Now we could come back and mark make. We could draw with some oil pastels. We could, you know what I like to do is take a contrasting color a lot of times and accent stencil work, because then it looks more three-dimensional, not like it's just a stencil. And so I might come back on here with some little fun accents, and this is kind of that lighter blue color, so we're still in our color palette. And you know, I do this with oil pastel, but you could probably do this with pencil, like your colored pencils, whatever colored pencil or soft pastel that you have. Get creative. Don't feel like you have to have anything to create that I'm creating with. I'm playing and experimenting and kind of bringing you along on my experiments, but you don't have to have anything that I use to create. Pull out everything that you've got, all the tools that you've kind of been saving or you haven't pulled out of your drawers in a while. Pull everything out and just see in a mixed media way, what can you work with today? And then when you're doing that, you know, you're like, well, how can I push myself outside of what I would normally do? What could I do that's different than same old, same old. That's why I like to play. I like pushing myself outside of my comfort zone. I'm probably the person that experiments more than anybody else that I know, and that's how I got, you know, more than a dozen gigantic photography workshops, because I would deep dive into a photography subject and then just immerse myself in that for months and months and months, and then make a workshop out of it. And one person said one time, when I was told them I was feeling a little burned out and tired, they're like, you should do one of your own workshops. And I was like, I did. That's how I made that workshop. So I thought that was funny, because it's hard work to deep dive into a subject and then see what you can come up with. You know, it's not just, it's fun work, but it can be hard work. You know, you're working. This is work. I mean, I'd be sitting there doing photography stuff and I'd start sweating. I'd be just like working hard. Here doing the art, I've got a fan on in the room, so it's like blowing a nice little breeze. But as I'm talking to you and creating and playing and experimenting and having these really fun, good days of art making, it feels like less work. It doesn't seem so hard, and I'm deep diving into different subjects and products and having fun. It's kind of my own deep dive project that I'm even playing with all these supplies and pushing my own mixed media work. This is so pretty. I almost think that that is basically done, but maybe we need some gold. Let's pull some gold out. And I'm trying my best to try different golds for you. So I'm going to use the golden iridescent fine because it's a nice, pretty color of gold, and it should be available for everybody, basically. This is an easy one to get. So what do we want to do with the gold? Do we want to grab, what did I even do with all those? Here we go. Do we want to grab another stencil and put the gold on with the stencil? I feel like we do. I feel like we do. Like, I'm almost thinking we could do a little gold in this crazy one here, just because. Let's just do it on one of these and see if we like it. Okay, so let's see. And we can overlap what we already have there too, because the gold's just going to look different. It's going to be a shine in there. It's going to be different on top of what's shining underneath it. And I like the layers in the mixed media pieces. That's what makes them, to me, so interesting. All right, let's see what that. Oh, now that's very interesting. That's very interesting. What do you think? Do we love it? Do we not love it? Oh, I kind of love it in the open areas more so than on top of what I did that on top of. Okay, so that's kind of interesting. Let's see. I mean, I'm almost thinking these. I'm in love with these two. I'm not in love with these two. That's why they're our experimental pieces. That's why I like 4. Pick 2 that are your favorite. Do those last as you work your way through all your decisions. Ooh, see, now that's fun. I don't feel like I want to do that on these though. I think I want to leave them like they are. I do actually feel like these are cool the way they are. Maybe we want some dots though. See, now I kind of do want to move this because I want to be able to see what these actually look like. A little more this way. Huh. All right, let's see. Maybe a little more this way. Oh yeah, okay. Now I'm feeling it. Oh, these are so pretty. Okay, I think I'm done. So let's go ahead and cut these up into pieces. Whoa, I'm very excited. This is completely different. So this tape this paper tears. It's not my favorite paper. The tape tears the paper. So what you should do is take your heat gun, heat the tape up, and then it'll come off that paper without tearing your paper. Yeah, this paper makes me kind of mad. It is not like some of these others where the tape just comes right off. It lets the tape tear the paper. But I'm using it because I have it. And then I might not buy it again. Alright, and then I'm just going to trim these with my Fiskars paper cutter. Feeling pretty good about today's project. These colors are pretty. A little crazy, but pretty. And there's a couple on here that I'm like, oh yeah, super cool. A little bit retro. Digging it. These ones where I put the cardboard down, my absolute favorite. If you don't have the corrugated cardboard, run right now to every box you have and see if you can find some of that, because look at these two. Those are kind of amazing. This right here made today a good paint day. And that cardboard, man, I'm going to be using it more and more and more. I forget I have it, but that stuff is crazy amazing. Comes in packaging a lot of times if you order books. Or you could like separate the top part of the cardboard and you may have the corrugated piece left. You might even look like corrugated cardboard on Amazon or something if you just feel like you've never seen this come in your mail. But check every box that you get from now on. Okay, these two are my absolute favorite. I liked that pop of orange. This one, that's a dud. I feel like it's just way too much, and it was good for doing all my experimenting. I can definitely get some good heart pieces, heart punches out of this for my heart jar. Let's just look. You know I'm not scared to cut this stuff up. See, like right there. Oh, yeah, 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 yeah. Oh, yeah. Ooh, right there. See, we got some good ones in here that will definitely maybe hit the heart jar. And just in case you haven't seen the heart jar, it's my little jar of art prompts. You can check out my art prompt playlist for what I do with these, and I put them in a really pretty little antique dessert jar. And it lives up here, and I can just pull a prompt out when I get stuck, and I can be like, okay, what does it say to do? And I can follow the prompt for the day, like add some pencil. Oh, add some paint with your fingers. And then maybe that'll get me unstuck for the day. So any pieces of art that I'm like, I'm immediately thinking, ooh, new heart for my jar. This one I actually like, so I won't think I'll cut that one up. But I don't love it. I like it, but I don't love it. These two I love. Like, that's the day right there. So tell me, did you love the ones I didn't love? Or did you love the ones I did love? What was your favorite? And I can't wait to see what you're doing with some of these. That card 342 was a very interesting color palette. And I think with the blues and the greens and being the dominant color with that little orange pop is what made those for me. So I hope you enjoy trying out those colors. Use what you have. You don't have to play with the same tools I'm using. It's all about experimenting and playing and figuring out what you got and what you can use, and see if you can pull some things out that you forgot you had. All right, so if you want to tag me on Instagram at Two Little Owls Art and show me what you're working on, you can do that. You can also join the Facebook group I have for peeps. I link everything below, and I'll link the products below, and I'll link the set of stencils below for you. And I'll see you next time.